Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? So today we're gonna have our usual seerah. So do you guys remember what was the last topic that we did? It was about romantic. Do you guys remember? We had like a very romantic moment with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I had a huge crush on him. Did you guys have a huge crush on our Prophet? Where he actually how he was with Khadijah? Do you guys remember? Basically, just to give a recap, last week we talked about the Prophet, how he was in his 20s, and honestly he was a very attractive guy. He actually tried to propose to his uncle punya Abu Talib's daughter, but Abu Talib didn't accept it. The reason for that is because Abu Talib wanted his daughter to marry somebody better, so it was a bit sad, remember? But he got rejected, and then after that, alhamdulillah, he got, Khadijah. May Allah be pleased with her. Do you guys remember? So it was a very romantic story last week, and it was a happy ending as well. So this week we'll actually see how was our Prophet when he was in his 30s, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he married up. Basically, he was an orphan, and he had to work his way up. So he started to do he learned business via his uncle, but then because he had really amazing character, and he was also quite fit as well. Yes, this is why we have a crush on our Prophet. Okay, so yeah, Wina, you actually said it. Yeah, he was working with Khadijah, correct? And then whilst he was growing up, so he had good character, and then he married up with Khadijah. So he's actually now in his 30s. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what I can imagine. If anybody else do sirah and they don't agree with me, please tell me. I'm just a newbie. But if we can imagine lah, our Prophet, he was probably like in their society, orang ada good character, good looking, married up pula tu, ada duit. So you can just imagine how he was like. And in that society juga, a lot of people was actually worshipping other bits and bobs, like they were worshipping idols, and he was not. He was actually one of the Hanif. So people that are Hanif are actually people yang follow fitrah, where they don't actually worship a lot of these idols. They just by themselves worship one true God, macam tu. So he never ever was involved with what do you call that? Was involved with idol worshipping lah. So in his 30s, so he's married to Khadijah, and he was good looking, he had a business, and his business is doing really well. Then Khadijah pula started to give him babies. So basically he started to have kids. I think, now I could be wrong, but this is probably one of his sweetest time in life. During the Prophet, when he was actually in his 30s, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is probably one of his sweetest time, because he was already in society very up. And I'll give you an example nanti, okay, later, why he was considered somebody in the society. And then on top of that, he married his his beloved wife Khadijah. May Allah be pleased with her. And then Khadijah gave him kids, and then they had like a good business. You know what I mean? Like life was good for him. I think this was before all the challenges came in. But just because life was good, it does not mean that he was not somebody who was involved with social justice, working macam NGO lah, like that. So even though life was good for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was always concerned about society's well-being. He's always involved with some form of NGO, trying to help out other people. So even within his family, he's somebody that got a lot of support. Basically korang rasa tak, okay, macam ni tau, some people might look good on Instagram. I'm sorry, I just have to take it. But then maybe in their personal life, I don't know, macam tu. But our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so basically he was a man with a lot of authenticity. So maksudnya he had a really good personal life as well. So he had a lot of backing from his family. He was somebody that was very authentic, and on top of that, he's hot. I'm just gonna put it out there, okay? Our Prophet was hot. So in his 30s, I would imagine that he was actually somebody lah in the society, and to make sure that he was actually somebody, to prove to you guys that he was actually somebody. So our Prophet had an uncle called Abu Lahab. Do you remember that surah about his uncle Abu Lahab? That Allah SWT damned his uncle and his uncle's wife. So basically his uncle Abu Lahab actually wanted his sons to marry the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam punya daughters. That was because macam Abu Lahab saw that okay macam my nephew ni macam he's going to be somebody. So I just want to give a disclaimer macam the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's not like macam somebody yang macam pick me as your next leader. Bukan. He's not like Abu Sufyan ke people who actually macam want to have a career in politics. It's just that he had such good character and he was financially macam stable, and on top of that macam he had a good family and his whole family macam back him. So that's why macam in the society he was actually seen as somebody that was actually going to lead. So if we macam read the Quran, most of the prophets, okay, before they actually become prophet, they were people that orang memang acknowledge they are going to be leaders. Faham tak? Macam orang macam people who actually oppose, macam orang-orang atasan pun yang akan oppose the prophet ni, before they became prophet, they all macam know that these people are going to be leaders, because prophets ni Allah SWT macam memang dah daripada kecil dia macam Allah SWT dah prepare them for prophethood. So I just want to say like whatever that we go through in our life, whatever difficulty ke, Allah SWT takes credit tau for how he has groomed us, all of us, not just prophet. So the prophets are somebody that Allah SWT groomed for leadership, and so are we. Macam we are actually groomed by Allah. So sometimes when we go through hardship, we think that macam oh my god, like we look at that hardship as if macam it's between me and her, or it's between this and this, it's between me and the world. But actually whatever hardship that we go through, I just want to give myself a reminder that actually Allah memang put us through it for a reason, because Allah is trying to groom us. Allah is trying to prepare us for something. Allah is taking credit, and that's what Allah SWT says, الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي سورة ما شاء ركبك. I am the one that has proportioned you. I am the one that has given you experience. I am the one that has fashioned you, proportioned you. Whatever that we go through in our life, this is all part of Allah SWT's plan to groom us to be who we are today. So the only thing that we have to decide whenever that we go through hardship is either A, we want to bersabar and have patience and remember that Allah is with orang yang patient and go closer to Allah, or we just go the other way. Itu je sebenarnya in our life ni. Kita nak dekat kepada Allah ke, or we want to go further away. So even the prophets sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all, what surah was that? That was actually from Surah Infitar. That's actually my favourite surah. Right now I'm loving Surah Infitar, so I keep on quoting it. But yeah kan, because dia sangat kena with me at this particular time lah. So so that is Surah Infitar, okay? I think it's berapa puluh. It's like one of the Surah Juzu Amma, the last 30th chapter. Anyway, so the Prophet ni macam, that's why Abu Lahab pun macam wanted his sons to marry the Prophet punya daughters. So the Prophet actually had sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had 6 kids, okay? So but in his 6 kids too, only like 4 survived. So he had actually 2 boys and 4 girls, but the 2 boys actually passed away, and only the 4 girls remain. But even though the 2 boys passed away, macam Allah actually ganti the 2 boys with actually macam, remember Zaid was his adopted son. Zaid was actually from remember he was a gift from Khadijah gave Zaid as a gift. And then also remember he had a servant that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam inherited from his father, which is called Barakah, I think. Let me check her name. Was it Barakah? Yeah. So Barakah also actually Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually freed her. But then she actually came back and she married Zaid. So yeah, so basically macam Allah SWT replace the 2 sons first with Zaid, his adopted son, that slave that he actually adopted. And then secondly, so he had another son that was actually his nephew. So he was brought up by Abu Talib, remember? So Abu Talib actually had a really small boy called Ali. Kan? Do you guys remember Ali? So may Allah be pleased with him, Ali. So Ali basically was also Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was treated as a son by the Prophet, and the reason for that is because Abu Talib, as he was getting older, Abu Talib was not did not have an easy, he was not financially wealthy actually, Abu Talib, but he had a good heart. So that's why he actually took the Prophet in sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's why when Abu Talib was getting older, then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam decided to help Abu Talib and adopt Abu Talib punya son, which is his own nephew, which is Ali. So basically Allah SWT replaced the two sons with Ali and Zaid pun. But anyway, so that's why Abu Lahab actually wanted his sons to marry the Prophet SAW punya punya daughters, because actually macam he was somebody that had charisma lah. Macam tu. Like he, you know, the thing is about prophets ni, diorang ni macam orang yang ada a lot of charisma. Not because they are loud. Not because they are people that are, you know, macam, let's go into politics, yeah. You know, they're not like that. But they have a natural, macam what they call leadership. They have natural leadership that people just trust them. You know, people just want to be macam depend on them. People just are attracted to them. So these are what the prophets are like. And it's not just our Prophet Muhammad SAW, it's all the prophets. If we read the Quran juga. So that's why macam sometimes if we read the Quran kan, macam some prophets Allah akan cakap, you know, in the Quran Allah akan cerita that all these people yang kaya-kaya ni, yang used to be really close with the Prophet before they actually became prophets, they used to tell the prophets, oh, we thought you were going to be somebody in our society. Faham tak? Orang-orang kaya yang actually in charge of politics and whatnot ni, they actually believe that these prophets are going to be somebody. The reason they oppose these prophets are because, okay, so here's my distinction, okay? So before that, the Prophet Muhammad SAW was a Hanif. People are Hanif ni, diorang ni macam tak worship the idols. Okay, so the Quraysh was not angry when the Prophet was a Hanif, because the Prophet as a Hanif never outwardly attacked them. But it is only when the Prophet dapat what do you call that? Dapat wahyu, when all the ayat-ayat Quran come, the ayat Quran specifically challenge the Quraysh. Do you understand? So it's like this. So if you have a friend, okay, for example macam kita ada family and kita ada friends. Kita bukan prophets, kita Muslim je. So kita macam tak adalah kena macam challenge exactly our friend punya belief. Faham tak? Prophets, they have to do this. They have to sampaikan exactly what Allah SWT sampai. They're not like us that we get the Quran and then we can, you know, see how we would like to implement it in our life. We have a choice. No, prophets tak ada choice. Whatever wahyu yang dia dapat, dia kena terus sampaikan. So, all this wahyu that Allah SWT give this ayat, they are a direct challenge to a particular society punya practices of that particular time. You imagine, so this the Prophet Muhammad SAW in his 30s, memang everybody macam suka dia, you know, because he's somebody that was, itulah, had it all. And then suddenly when he gets wahyu, you imagine you being in his position, you have to go to people that are your family and challenge them and cakap you are wrong. And Allah SWT, bila Allah SWT turunkan wahyu, Allah bukan macam kita tau. Allah bila dia cakap in the Quran, it is with a lot of authority. Macam, oh, you are sarcastic, is it? Allah macam kan orang tak percaya ada day of judgment, whatever. Allah is very sarcastic in the Quran. Allah say, what? You don't believe? Sure? Here, let me tell you what's going to happen to you. So this is why people start to oppose macam the Prophet Muhammad SAW, as he macam became, at one time in his 30s, he was very popular. Everybody loved him, basically lah. Muhammad ni, macam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everybody was into him. And then suddenly, boom, flip. Diorang flip because he started to challenge people punya belief. So I'm saying macam sometimes in our life, macam kita as Muslim now, we are not given that kind of responsibility that prophets have, which is to directly challenge people. Macam we in our day and age, and us as Muslim, this is what I believe lah. We have the, you know, we know Islam is good for us and we practice it, but we don't outright challenge macam a particular person and say no, blah 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 blah, Allah has given this ayat to you and dia macam Allah direct that ayat particularly to you. Bukan. Faham tak? So this is what our Prophet actually had to go through, and this is why macam if we did all the sirah before, we see why actually he went through a lot of hardship in his life, because whilst he is going through all that hardship, actually Allah is preparing him for the test that he's about to receive when in his 40s he's going to get wahyu. So you imagine, you dah up in society dah lah, you macam hot stuff, you ada banyak duit, you ada good family, you bukan orang yang, you know, player, you sayang you punya wife, everything. So macam you have it all in your 30s, and then suddenly when wahyu come, dia macam pam. Macam tu. You outrightly challenge people. And that's why even he's macam, do you remember do you guys know who Abu Sufyan is? Abu Sufyan is actually somebody that was actually Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ni macam brother tau, because they share the same wetness. Do you remember the Prophet had a wetness called Halimah? So Halimah actually also nursed another boy called Abu Sufyan, and Abu Sufyan is actually going to go to war with the Prophet. The Abu Sufyan is actually going to oppose the Prophet, and it's not like oppose senang-senang. It's actually going to war. I'm going to kill you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm going to kill you. Macam tu. So these are people that are very they had personal relationship with the Prophet, and when wahyu datang, dia macam perak. Dia punya society tu, macam you imagine dia macam split like that. So you imagine the Quraysh society, they had their own problems whatever, tapi bila wahyu came, they split like that. Daripada kawan, family, everything, dia macam tore it apart. And this tearing apart ni was actually made apparent because what is in the heart will come out. So this tear is actually when Allah SWT turun this wahyu and say, you decide now, you not or not follow the truth. This is when people akan banyak in the heart macam maybe not, I don't know. Lepas tu macam especially if the truth is opposing them in a lot of ways. So for example, the truth is opposing their financial means, the truth is opposing so this is macam the Quraysh society lah. But basically the Prophet in his 30s, I just want to say that I think this was one of his macam happiest experiences in his life, in his 30s, because this is when he actually had a lot of wealth, and before he lost his business. After wahyu came, he lost his business. So this is before all that came. So I think he had his wife, and then he had his kids. They were happy, they were well respected in his family, in the society, in his family, everything lah. So that's it, guys. That's it for the Sirah today. I hope you guys actually enjoyed it. If you guys don't know, the Sirah that we're actually doing is this. This is the book that we're doing. It's called Revelation, the story of Muhammad by Miraj Muhyiddin. And every week, if I'm not in Malaysia or traveling, we do it on every Wednesday, where we talk about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're going to go to the second part of our Instagram live, where we actually do some reflection for the week. So one of the things that I realized is that when we actually be on the path of Quran, so that if we actually try to follow any sirah punya not sirah, any Quran punya classes, what is it that we realize? When I don't have Quran, I feel like my life, I don't have the right perspective in life, and I don't know what is truth. I don't know what is al-haq. Al-haq, Allah says al-haq actually means reality. Kan kita in our language, kita ada perkataan hakikat. Hakikat kan? Hakikat tu actually comes from haqq, the word truth. Actually in life, we don't know what is reality unless we have Quran. Quran gives us the right perspective in life. So I was discussing with adalah my friends today. I have a wonderful group of friends where we discuss about things. And I realised some of the things that I look up to or something, they were quite lame. The things that I looked up to were really quite lame. And the Quran persistently macam change my perspective. Bukan change, macam make me come to reality. Because without Quran, I feel like kita punya reality ni, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like I live the macam faham tak? I live in not the right perspective in life, and I don't know what is the truth, and I don't know what are the things that I should be looking forward to, what are the things that I should back off from. If we don't have a relationship with Quran, it is very difficult to survive in this world. I'm gonna say it like that. If we don't hang on to the Quran, macam Allah says macam Quran ni is like a rope. Macam imagine kita ni macam in a sea, and this sea has a very strong current that's called dunya. If we don't have macam a rope that we hang on to, it's like an anchor, and this rope ni dia act as an anchor, and kita macam kena pegang kuat sekuat hati kita, because if we don't, kita akan hanyut. And when I'm talking about hanyut, people always see macam oh, the dunya is bad, whatever. The dunya is not bad. The dunya is not bad. It's just that if we don't have the Quran, we do not have the right perspective of what the dunya is for. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes kita rasa macam, we have to be religious, kita kena zuhud ke apa ke. Bukan. I don't agree. It's just that the Quran is al-haq. It tells us the hakikat, the truth of what is the purpose of this life actually. And I feel like this is why macam I'm giving myself a reminder that, ultimately macam this is why we get closer to the Quran. It's not because of anything else. It's because we know that if we don't, we are going to hanyut. We are just going to, faham tak? We're just going to just be macam tu. And alhamdulillah, macam I feel as well the Quran also acts as a hex in life. Do you know hex? Macam how to ni. Macam if we have a relationship with the Quran, memang Allah akan address that problem in our heart. In our life, macam we go through a lot of hardship. So I feel macam kita kena ada hex in life. If we want to, have a nice life and everything, kita kena ada hex. So Quran ni sebenarnya is very much macam it speaks to the intellect of the heart. So sometimes macam, okay, if we have macam problem with with health, what do we do? If we have problem in business, what do you do? But if we have problems in life in general, macam the perspective in life, you have macam that's where the Quran comes in, and lots of people actually have a problem with trying to find that purpose in life because of macam tak ada this anchor. And I feel basically macam if we were to just read the Quran and not know the meaning, macam kita baca je, kita tak actually know where the stories come from, kita actually buat tafsir, I feel like kita dapat pahala tapi that is not the main purpose. Faham tak? The Quran punya main purpose is not actually to bawa pahala untuk kita. The Quran punya main purpose is to remind kita, is to macam give us perspective in life. It is for us to be orang yang suka berfikir. So it's very hard for us to berfikir unless we actually do tafsir Quran. Unless this. And you will see, macam you will notice when we actually are on the path of Quran, kita akan ada hardship and memang Allah akan tackle that hardship right on the dot. Memang macam kita akan macam tu, macam dia akan kena on our nose tau. Like whatever hardship, kita ada gaduh dengan orang ke, Allah akan kata, yauma la tamliku nafsun li nafsun syai'a wal amru yauma idilillah. On the day of judgment, kau tak boleh blame dia takkan blame kau. Macam mana? How you gonna answer? Faham tak? Kalau kita ada problem in whatever, macam and hati kita tengah susah, Allah akan cakap be patient, seek help through patience and prayer. Allah is with those who are patient, and kalau kita kata macam kita tak ada masa nak study Quran, kita macam but I'm so busy, blah blah blah, Allah akan jawab, alimat nafsum ma qaddamat wa akharat. On the day of judgment, you will see actually what is it that you prioritize and what is it that you put behind. Again, faham? Faham tak? Like Allah will actually macam hit us on the nose. Macam, betul ke kita tak ada masa? Or kita sebenarnya tak nak? Or sebenarnya kita prioritize benda lain? So it's like the Quran, dia macam kita as manusia, kita ada banyak layers. Kita ada layer yang kita macam kata, oh no, I don't have time. Oh no, actually, the excuse. Allah will cut through all that and hit directly to the heart. Dia macam pam terus to our heart. And the next question becomes nanti whether kita nak admit or kita tak nak. Itulah sebenarnya Quran. Is hakikah. Is haq. It is the truth. It's ultimately when we read the Quran and when we go through this journey, ultimately is whether we want to admit the truth or we don't. And when we don't want to admit the truth, that's when we become somebody yang akan macam make a lot of excuses. I don't know. And I feel like, to me, macam let's just say lah, macam whatever that we struggle with, I'm not belittling whatever struggle, because everybody ada struggle, and I'm the most yang paling banyak struggle lah, I'm going to say, okay, macam hati I ni macam batu, akan cakap kat korang, my hati memang macam batu, okay, I have a very very hard heart, and this batu memang can only break via the Quran. You cannot see actually in the heart. Kita nampak kat luar je of orang, tapi dalam hati kita tahu sebenarnya hati kita ni macam mana. I punya hati ni memang macam batu. So macam the Quran tu dia memang peng 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 knock that batu until crack. And when it crack tu, that's when macam buka that hati to terima all the good that can come into our heart. Because ultimately our heart is like a vessel. You know, it's like a vessel. Kalau kita tak actually macam put in Quran, if I don't put in Quran, trust me, I'm going to put in something else. Like, I'm going to put in 50 Shades of Grey. Sorry. It's like porn for chicks. Kalau I tak letak Quran in my heart, confirm in my heart akan ada 50 Shades darker, 50 Shades freed. And all the hot guys I want to watch. And all the TV dramas that I want to watch on TV. Itulah yang I akan ikut. And I'm going to tell you guys honestly, okay? Yang itulah yang I akan watch constantly. Tapi Alhamdulillah ada Quran. So Allah bagi perspektif. And you know what? And the truth is, we can't depend on anybody else when it comes to the Quran. Seriously, sesat sangat. Sesat gila weh. Tapi did you guys watch 50 Shades Freed? Oh, no, 50 Shades Darker. My god, best gila. Nampak tak kenapa hati I macam keras sangat? So, Alhamdulillah for the Quran. Alhamdulillah. You know, it's only through the Quran yang kita akan macam, no, Sumi, no. Don't do it. But I'm just saying that, you know, Alhamdulillah, it's only like in our heart tu, kita careful lah. Sebenarnya basically macam, if it's not Quran, if our time, okay, if my time is not filled with putting Quran in my heart, I'm going to put something else in my heart. And it could be hot guys with hot bodies. I'm so shallow. Help me guys, I'm so shallow. So I'm just giving myself a reminder, and you guys, I'm so glad that you guys shared with me your Quran story and what is it that you guys have in life. And that is Quran is actually haq. Because tadi pun macam I was chatting with my friends on Instagram pula, on chat. And they were saying macam, you know, some things about some people, and they were like, oh, you know, how nice it is, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, like the things that probably they look as nice, I'm like, no, it's not really nice actually, because I think for a fact, for now, Alhamdulillah, as long as I'm close to the Quran, kita boleh differentiate tau. Actually, Quran ni is also bayinah. Do you guys know perkataan bayinah ni? Is something to differentiate what is actually macam the truth and what is not. It clarifies. Tahu tak? Macam, kan ada 50 Shades of Grey kan? Quran kan tak ada. Dia ada black or white. Dia macam, you know, it makes us very strong in our principles to know macam benda ni macam tak bagus sebenarnya, tak nak macam tu. And it's not the same with everybody tau. Everybody will actually go through their own tests and their own challenges. It's very hard for us to judge another person's life. Tapi when we are close to the Quran, we can be the masters of what is right and wrong for us. This is important. Tak adalah constantly kita nak macam refer, Ustaz. Tak payah. Kita bukan constantly orang yang macam kena refer to somebody else. Kita become very confident in kita punya own macam naluri. Kita ada very strong macam sense of kita ada very strong principles in life, where kita tahu macam benda ni macam no, benda ni tak real, benda ni fake, benda ni real. Kita boleh actually make that distinction. Actually, the Quran also clarifies. It clarifies macam, you know, whatever situation that we're in, it clarifies whatever, you know, principles that we have in life. If you're on the path of Quran and you're trying to improve yourself, like me, as you can see, 50 Shades kan, kalau tak semaya. So, if you are, then, you know, you might want to use a diary. So, this diary is actually from Tudung People. I use this diary to actually track my daily macam what are things that I want to achieve in a day. So in my day macam what is it macam kita nak achieve, I used to put in there, and when I can achieve it, I tick. So if you are like me macam tengah try to kejar to try to improve yourself, then I'm really gonna recommend you this diary. You can get it from Tudung People. It's really cheap, guys, this diary from Tudung People. I'm going to put it out there. But it's so useful. It's very useful to have this diary. They have the Ramadan planner, I think it's called now. You can go to tudungpeople.com and get it. And you can put in the code TPSUMI. They will give you a 20% discount. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, Fazrina. So I use this diary to actually track. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this to improve myself. Yeah. So in this diary, so all macam my daily solat ke, whatever ke, macam I letak, okay, hari, what is it I want to achieve in my solat. So these are all the solat, and I put macam I want to achieve witir, tahajud, the morning remembrance, the evening remembrance. So I will put all this, and then if I do it, I tick. And then obviously macam what are the things, habit tracker, what are the things I want to macam achieve, other bits and bobs. So let's say macam I want to do tafsir, memorize the Quran, exercise, and then do juicing, or read the sadness doa, or be in bed by 8 o'clock, plan for the next day. Semua ni I letak. And if I get to do it, I get a tick, 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 tick. And you know what? This has really, alhamdulillah, it has helped me a lot to improve myself. But just in case, if you guys are already doing this, okay, so if you guys are already on this journey macam of doing this, and you guys are already getting ticks, just a reminder for myself and you guys, if you're already at that level, sometimes we get macam, because something has already become a habit tau, so we tend to do it things macam out of the norm. Just remember macam to renew balik our intentions. Why are we doing the things that we do? Why are we ticking all this? Because sometimes it becomes habit, and just macam fikir balik the reason why kita buat benda ni, and reason why we keep on, you know, trying to improve ourselves, is because we are hoping to run to Allah. So, you know, one day if we work hard and we keep on renewing our intentions, maybe we will be among those that can actually see wajah Allah. And this is actually the highest form of nikmat. Kita memang, inilah nikmat yang paling best any human being can ever achieve. And if on this earth we don't actually put time to an effort to get close to Allah, then Allah say, you deny me on this earth, fine, on the day of judgment you will not see me. So maksudnya on the day of judgment kita semua akan ada trial kan. We will have a day where macam Allah will we will have to answer. Orang yang actually on the day in this life macam deny Allah, kata, oh, I don't have time for Allah, I don't have time for this. Allah will say, I don't have time for you on the day of judgment. You're not going to see me, and we will be forever denied. In, like, you know, Allah will put a partition between him and, you know, us. So we don't, I hope like macam may Allah protect us from being orang yang Allah deny on the day of judgment. So just if you are macam trying to improve yourself, which I think you are lah if you're listening to my babbling, why else would you be listening? Then I'm going to say macam remind ourselves whenever we do whatever is for the sake of Allah. Macam we are hoping to see His glorious face, you know, on that day. Yes? Okay. This life is a test. And if we keep on reading Quran, we won't feel like crap. Trust me, macam, you know, sometimes when orang tegur, kita rasa like crap. Tapi macam in the Quran, bila Allah tegur, kita tak rasa like crap actually. Kita rasa disayangi. Seriously, macam sometimes in life, macam bila orang tegur I rasa nak tumbuk muka dia. I'm like, who you? What do you know? You don't know my life. Tapi bila Allah tegur kita, macam bila Allah is trying to straighten us up, we feel the love, tau. Because in the Quran, Allah tak cerita kita macam about perfect life. Allah tak cerita pasal people with perfect life. On Instagram, everybody got perfect life. It's okay, yeah, boring Instagram. Orang macam, I got perfect friends, I got perfect family, perfect husband, my God, my kids are perfect. All my pictures are nice. Faham tak? On Instagram, everybody likes to portray macam perfection. In the Quran, Allah actually talks about people with imperfect life. The Prophet Muhammad SAW, when we study the seerah, has not perfect life, a lot of hardship. Kita tak akan masuk nanti. Sebenarnya kita tak masuk lagi dia punya real hardship after datangnya wahyu. Tapi people in the Quran have really macam hard life. People in the Quran don't have perfect life. People in the Quran don't have perfect family relationships. People in the Quran do all this, you know. They don't have what Instagram tries to portray. But what do they have? Amazing relationship with Allah. And this is something that we should compare ourselves to. you know, when we see our friends, or when we see our cousins, when we see whoever, and when we see kings, when we see prime ministers, when we see leaders, the only thing that we should compare between him and us is who is running closer to Allah now. That's it. That's the only comparison that we should give to ourselves. Ultimately, when you meet anybody, when we go to weddings, when we go to whatever, when we go to see macam whatever lah, weddings, whatever gathering, meeting friends, you know, or what do you call that, reunion, whatever that we go to, the only thing that we should be comparing between one another is not how successful you are in life, blah blah blah, because these are nothing. The only thing that we should be comparing to another person is who is running closer to Allah. That's it. That's the only comparison that we should give ourselves with other people. Because if we do this comparison, we will never feel crappy. We will never feel crap in our life. You know why? Because the door to Allah is always open. If we are sibuk comparing, oh dia dah ada kereta, dia dah ada business, or dia dah ada whatever, dia punya career dia dah jadi a director, or dia punya career dia dah jadi, you know, whatever lah, or husband dia macam ni, kalau kita compare benda tu, we will never be satisfied. Because Allah tak akan bagi orang sama nikmat. Tapi if we compare who is running closer to Allah, we will not feel crappy, because instantly at that second, kalau kita tengok orang running closer to Allah, kita boleh terus istighfar and say, I'm going to do better. I want to run closer to Allah. I think, insyaAllah, if I'm reminding myself, if I keep on comparing myself, this and other people, we will never ever feel, kita panggil insecure. If we compare antara kita dengan orang, who is, macam adakah orang tu running closer to Allah or kita, we will never ever feel insecure in our life. We will never feel like Allah give us less. Because once we compare macam who is running closer to Allah, it puts the ball in our court. The next question actually depends on is, what is our effort to get closer to Allah? That's it. Actually has nothing to do with whatever nikmat, you know. It just has to do with what is our effort in trying to get closer to Allah. And that's it. That's the only comparison that we should be making. Is what is the effort today that we put in to get closer to Allah. When we make a comparison of what is macam, how are they getting closer to Allah and how are we, it does not mean that we compare apple to apple. That means, okay, some people get closer to Allah via tahajud. Some people get closer to Allah via, Quran studies. Some people get closer to Allah macam tu. But ultimately, when we ask the question of, what are we doing to get closer to Allah, that's it. That is ultimately the main, the main question. Because if we keep on comparing our life with other people, what they have, then the ball is not in our court. The ball is always what that person have. Is on the other side. So we will forever be thinking that, we are lacking. But for example, if we ask ourselves, we start to ask macam, what is it that I can do to get close to Allah? Then the ball is in our court. And we start to look into ourselves. So when I say macam, when we compare with others, macam how are we running closer to Allah, it's not actually comparing macam if that person is doing that, then that's what we should be doing. Bukan. It's actually asking back the question to ourselves. Put the ball in our court and say, what is it that I'm doing today to get closer to Allah? Because other people have different journey. Some people have time to do this, some people have time to do this, some people have time to do other things. Macam tu lah. That's what I mean. So put back the ball in our court every time we feel like we want to compare. In this way, I feel like we will never ever feel like we are any less than any other person. Because sometimes kita tengok orang tu macam, for me lah, I don't know about you guys lah. Sometimes I feel, I don't know lah about you, Wardina, but I have friends that are actually very, very, macam I'm in an industry where it's about appearance. I'm in an industry where it's about, about showing your appearance. I'm in an industry where it's about, very, very outwardly lah. Very outwardly. Because fashion. So in this industry, I have to be, how do I tread? How do I put things in perspective? That's always a challenge for me. So I find it really useful when I ask myself this question. Ultimately, how do I compare myself to another person? Sumayyah, what is it that you doing today to get close to Allah? Itu je. Dah, tanya je soalan tu. And then I feel like tak adalah all all my insecurities. Bila kita tengok orang lain punya Instagram ke, bila kita whatever tengok orang lain punya achievement, kita dah takkan dah rasa insecure, or kita rasa macam, oh I should be doing more. Tak ada. No more macam I'm any less, so I should be doing more or whatever. I am macam you, me, everybody, we are in the position exactly where we should be. We feel macam tak perlu compare kot kita punya life dengan orang lain. We are exactly where we need to be. We just need to, macam me lah, I just need to, soften my heart more to become closer to Allah, and keep on reminding myself that, what is it, what more can I do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Assalamualaikum. Bye guys.